Plants that live only in water seem simple, almost indestructible. Many people put a branch in a glass, see roots sprout, and believe that everything is solved. The problem is that, after a few months, the leaves begin to yellow, growth stops, and in many cases, the plant simply rots without apparent explanation. This happens because water alone does not sustain a plant forever. In nature, even species adapted to water receive nutrients constantly, something that doesn't happen by chance indoors. Understanding how to fertilize plants grown only in water is what separates a surviving little branch from a truly healthy, beautiful, and long-lasting plant. If you like practical plants, don't want to deal with soil, and have already tried growing them in water without success, this video will completely change the way you care for them. Throughout the video, I will explain how to properly nourish 10 very popular plants grown in water, avoiding common mistakes that cause many people to lose their seedlings. If this topic interests you, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and comment if you grow any plants only in water. 1. The Pothos, Peperomia aureum, is one of the most commonly grown plants in water due to its hardiness and adaptability, and it's common to see it in glasses, bottles, and glass vases scattered around the house. What many people don't know is that it grows quickly precisely because it consumes nutrients intensely, even when it's just in water. Therefore, one of the most common mistakes is believing that changing the water is enough to keep it healthy. Without nutrient replenishment, the pothos will survive, but it will lose vigor over time. Ideally, a well-diluted liquid fertilizer, specifically for ornamental plants, should be used, applied every 15 days in small quantities. The water should be changed weekly to avoid the accumulation of residue and bad odor. It prefers indirect light and stable indoor environments, without direct sunlight on the leaves. When well nourished, the pothos develops larger, greener leaves, long and firm roots, maintaining a beautiful appearance for much longer. It's perfect for apartments, offices, and for anyone who wants to decorate shelves and bookcases without using pots with soil. The philodendron behaves similarly to the pothos, but is even more sensitive to nutrient deficiencies. An interesting fact is that it reacts quickly to proper fertilization, showing new leaves in a few days. In water, it needs balanced liquid fertilizer, always in low doses to avoid burning the roots. It prefers diffused light and stable indoor environments. Well cared for, it becomes an elegant plant with showy leaves, ideal for those who want a modern and easy-to-maintain look. 2. The snake plant can live in water for long periods without showing major signs of distress, which leads many people to believe that it needs practically no care. The slow growth in this system occurs because this plant is extremely economical in its use of nutrients, spending only what is essential to stay alive. Even so, this does not mean that it does not need fertilization. To keep it healthy, ideally apply a light fertilizer once a month, using a well-diluted liquid fertilizer, preferably rich in micronutrients, which help maintain the vibrant color of the leaves. The water should be changed regularly to prevent bacterial growth, and the container must always be clean. The snake plant tolerates low light, adapts well to indoor environments, and is not affected by temperature variations. Therefore, it is an excellent choice for beginners, small apartments, or anyone who wants a hardy, discreet plant with minimal maintenance, yet still beautiful and healthy. 3. Lucky bamboo is a classic aquatic plant and very popular in interior decoration, especially for its elegant appearance and symbolism associated with prosperity. Despite being hardy, it is one of the plants that suffers the most when nutrients are not replenished correctly. A common mistake is thinking that simply changing the water solves the problem, when in fact it needs constant feeding in very small doses. Lucky bamboo does not tolerate excess fertilizer, but responds very well to fertilizers, specifically for plants grown in water or hydroponic systems, applied only once a month. The water should always be clean and preferably chlorine-free, which helps keep the roots healthy. It prefers indirect light and stable indoor environments. When well nourished, it grows straight, with firm green leaves, maintaining a beautiful and balanced appearance. Therefore, it is widely used in offices, living rooms, and spaces where practicality with a natural touch is desired. 4. Syngonium adapts very well to cultivation in water and is particularly striking for its arrow-shaped leaves, which give a delicate and modern look to the environment. An interesting fact is that the appearance of these leaves changes according to the plant's nutrition. When nutrients are lacking, they become smaller and lighter. When they are well nourished, they grow more showy and with more intense colors. In water cultivation, Syngonium needs well-diluted liquid fertilizer, applied every 15 days, always taking care not to overdo the dose. It prefers indirect light, warmer indoor environments, and protection from cold drafts. The water should be changed regularly to keep the roots healthy. Well cared for, Syngonium grows in a balanced way and maintains its beauty for a long time. It is a great choice for those who want a decorative, different and easy-to-care-for plant, especially in small apartments or for those who are starting out in soilless cultivation. 5. Peperomia can be grown in water with good results, but it requires a little more attention, especially regarding fertilization. This plant stores water in its leaves, which makes its roots more sensitive to excess nutrients. Therefore, a common mistake is to fertilize too frequently, which can cause root rot and weaken the plant. Ideally, fertilization should only be done once a month, always with well-diluted liquid fertilizer, in minimal quantities. It prefers soft light without direct sun and adapts very well to indoor environments with stable temperatures. The water should be kept clean with regular changes, avoiding odors and the accumulation of residue. When well cared for, the Peperomia maintains firm, shiny leaves and controlled growth. It is perfect for those who like compact, delicate and elegant plants, ideal for tables, shelves or small spaces, without taking up much space or requiring constant maintenance. 6. The chlorophytum, known as the spider plant, develops surprisingly well in water cultivation when it receives the right nutrients. It is an actively growing plant and consumes a lot of nutrients, especially during periods when it is producing seedlings, something very common in this species. Therefore, a lack of fertilization usually results in pale leaves and weak growth. Ideally, fertilization should be carried out every 2 weeks, always in light doses, using well-diluted liquid fertilizer. Chlorophytum prefers indirect light and bright indoor environments, without direct sun on the leaves. The water should always be kept clean, with regular changes to preserve the health of the roots. In addition to being beautiful and easy to care for, chlorophytum contributes to air quality in enclosed environments, helping to make the space more pleasant. It is an excellent choice for houses, apartments and offices, especially for those seeking practicality combined with functional benefits. 7. Ivy is a fast-growing plant and develops vigorous roots when grown in water, provided it receives the right care. An interesting fact is that it responds much better to frequent fertilization in low doses than to more spaced and concentrated applications. Therefore, liquid fertilizer should be applied every 15 days, always well diluted, avoiding overloading the roots. Ivy prefers cooler environments with good ventilation and indirect light, without direct exposure to strong sun. The water needs to be kept clean, with regular changes to prevent odors and weakening of the roots. When well nourished, ivy grows in a balanced way and produces long, hanging branches, creating a very decorative cascading effect. It is an excellent choice for glass vases, high shelves and spaces where movement and lightness are desired in the decor, without the need for cultivation in soil. 8. Young Monstera plants can be grown in water for quite some time, as long as they receive the proper nutrients to maintain healthy growth. Although it is a vigorous plant, in water it is entirely dependent on fertilization to avoid losing strength over the months. Ideally, use a balanced liquid fertilizer, applied only once a month and always well diluted. It prefers abundant indirect light, stable indoor environments and always clean water, with regular changes to prevent the accumulation of residue. When well cared for, the Monstera maintains green, shiny and healthy-looking leaves, even before the appearance of the typical cuts of the adult phase. It is an excellent option for those seeking a visually striking plant in water cultivation, combining very well with modern decor, glass vases and spacious environments without the need for soil. 9. Dieffenbachia also adapts to water, but requires care with excess fertilizer. A monthly application in low concentration is sufficient. It likes indirect light and indoor environments. It is ideal for those who want a resistant and decorative plant, but it needs to be kept out of reach of children and pets. Growing plants solely in water works, as long as you understand that they need nutrients, just like any other plant. Clean water, adequate light and proper fertilization are the trio that keeps these species alive, beautiful and constantly growing. When you learn to dose nutrients and observe the signals each plant gives, cultivation becomes simple and much more enjoyable. If you've made it this far now, you know why so many plants in water end up dying and how to prevent it. Tell me in the comments which of these plants you already grow or which one you plan to put in water from now on. If the video helped you, leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next content. In the next video, I'll show you which plants live in water and even bloom, even in small containers, something that almost no one believes is possible.